Hello. So I don't have particular topic today. People like small talk. A lot of people who are especially extroverted, they are really into small talk. I fucking hate small talk. I spend a lot of time alone in solitude because that helps my brain not to have sensory overload, not feel anxious, helps me to actually be interested and entertained, because when I'm with other people I'm most of the times fucking bored. And it's nothing personal, it's just like I'm a fucking nerd from my early childhood. I preferred books instead of people. I preferred imagination instead of people. I preferred TV shows and cartoons instead of people. I preferred DIY instead of people. I preferred drawing instead of people. Now, when I'm about to approach 22 years old, which I'm about to be in 1 month, I feel like I'm no longer ashamed of being alone. Like, I actually love being alone, and I don't see anything embarrassing in that. When I was a child, my parents used to shame me a lot for wanting to be alone, because they were like, what's fucking wrong with you, like, why you don't go and play, why you don't talk to your relatives, why you don't do this, why you don't do that. I was being quiet because I didn't want to argue, I didn't want to conflict, I didn't want to prove something to them. I was sometimes getting angry because they were not respecting my personal space. But still, I internalized that shame, for willing to be alone. When I grew up, I kind of felt like, well, if I'm alone, even if I like it, it probably means that there's something wrong with me, that I can't fit in some groups of people. I can't talk to people in ways that would be interesting and engaging to me. I am not able, I don't know, to be interested in other person to the degree where I am consistently and constantly trying to dive deeper into that. But as time passed, I just realized that, well, I'm just not interested. When you turn on your logical side and you turn off your emotional side, you kind of see that, well, from a logical standpoint, what can this interaction bring to my life? What kind of benefits it would bring to me? Does it make me grow as person? Does it add something to my life? Does it make me happier? Does it make me better? And when you kind of use your analytical skills, and you kind of see that, oh, so this is taking from me or not adding anything at all, and this interaction doesn't make any sense. And I don't know why, but in my life, a lot of things pretty much are working around the efficiency. I am really into efficiency. Like, I'm crazy about efficiency. Whatever I do, whatever I decide to put my time, energy, money, effort in, like, it has to bring me results. Like, I'm crazy about fruits of your labor type of person, like, I want to get fruits of my labor. I want to get my investment back tenfold, hundredfold, thousandfold. And you know how disappointing it is when you invest into something and it doesn't bring you anything. But I kind of wired my mindset in a way that it's not going to happen. Even if you invested in something and it doesn't bring you any benefits, it kind of benefits you in some other way, which you were not expecting. For example, it opens some new perspective on life to you, or it shows you like another, side of the story, or makes you grow anyways. Anything happens as it happens, and it leads me to that Stoic "it is what it is" mindset, which is just it is what it is. I think in the past, I was not choosing positive thoughts because I was like, what's the reason? Like, what's the reason of me being so delusional, setting this too high standards, which I know that I'm not going to have right now. So it was, in a way, it was sort of unconscious craving of instant gratification. So when something doesn't happen right in the way when you want it, you're like, why do I even need to think about this? And you think about the worst case scenarios, because that's very familiar to your brain. That's where your brain feels the most comfortable, and that's also the way how you stay sort of alert. And when you stay in this alert mode, when you're about to approach every danger which is about to come to you, you feel yourself safe. That's how fucked unregulated nervous system is. When you haven't lived in a safe environment and you're used to be alert all the time, that's how you feel safe all the time. And that's why you are so, in a way, always ready for the worst case outcomes, worst case scenarios, because you're like, okay, I should imagine worst case scenario and I should relive it, so in a way, if that scenario would happen, I'm already kind of prepared for it and I wouldn't be so emotional about it. If someone thinks what's fucking wrong with me, that's genuinely the way how I felt throughout my life. I had for some time problems with trusting my intuition. You feel some sort of heavy energy. You don't probably have much experience in discerning. So what does this heavy energy indicates to me? Is it something heavy which I should run away from because it doesn't feel like it's in the flow and it's kind of feels kind of odd? Or is it heavy energy because I have to be persistent, I have to endure, I have to go through it no matter what, and I have to transmute it into lighter energies? It's not really something that you can learn just by reading about it or hearing it from people like me. It's something really that you have to experience and that you have to practice and that you have to learn how to discern. That's why it's called a journey, you know? That's why you don't compare yourself to any other human being, because that doesn't make any sense. That really doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, a comparison of yourself with other human being, it makes sense only if you want to compete. And probably if you want to compete in something mostly physical and material, but not if you want to compete in something spiritual. If you're hesitant about something, you can only receive the clarity, like the full clarity, the full understanding that you need, only on the other side. In order to get to the other side, you have to do action. At least people like me, we're very good at things like thinking and analyzing and anticipating and whatever, but without an action, it all would be just mental anguish. It all will be just mental mess. Only action in itself, which later might bring you some sort of emotions and some sort of feelings which you couldn't have predicted when you were thinking about that instead of taking action. It's, you know, some sort of tricky thing, because I wouldn't say that it means that all the time you have to take actions. That's sort of where balance kicks in. Like, there's a balance between thinking what type of action you should take, taking that action. As time passes, sometimes, at least I think that, okay, this thinking process was kind of useless at all and I shouldn't implement it at all. Or, okay, this set of actions, at least I tried. Basically, when we do something, we don't fully give attention to what kind of signal we give to our unconscious. So, for example, when you're telling yourself something, but your actions doesn't, 100% correspond with what you're telling yourself, you would be sending these signals to your unconscious, and you will continue to operate through your unconscious. So basically, that means that whatever you say to yourself will not make any sense, as 5% of your mind is conscious and 95% unconscious. You can't battle with your unconscious mind if you will keep foiling it with contradictive actions. Like, you will say, okay, I will start eating super healthy, but then you go and eat junk food time to time. You can say to yourself, oh, I'm eating so healthy, I'm so healthy, but if you will eat junk food time to time, your unconscious will perceive it as, oh, we're eating junk food. Oh, super. Whatever actions you will take, your unconscious still is kind of convinced that you are a junk food person, not healthy food person. You know, that's sort of the most basic and stupid example, but you can apply it in things like everywhere, basically, like, because your unconscious commands everything. And I guess people, at least I sometimes even get a bit intimidated by the fact that our brain is literally a computer machine that we can program in any way that we want, literally any way. But sometimes we don't want to let go of some things, of some lifestyles, of some people, of some thinking patterns, of some actions, just because it feels so familiar and you don't know how to fill that void in any other ways. And in my past, I was not very good with things like boredom. I had this restless mind which wanted to be entertained all the time and which wanted to get, everything from life, because I'm like, if that is a possibility right in front of me, why not? When we don't tremendously change as person, making that actions over and over to keep yourself entertained, it's kind of useless if it doesn't bring you the results that you wanted. I mean, it's all part of a process, it's all part of experience, it's all part of, learning. So I'm not saying that it's wrong, but at least what I am understanding now, it would feel different if you will invest some time in your own growth and then actually see what kind of things are aligning with that grown version of you. Even if it means that you have to invest time, effort, and energy in it, it would be more worth it than if you will settle for something now, but get that sort of instant gratification and that false sense of contentment for some short period of time. Most of people are not good with boredom, especially in times that we're living in now, where there is a lot of distractions, where there is a short attention span. But at least for me, for my personality type, it's very useful to be bored. It's inevitable part of the growth process to learn to sit in boredom, because it might look as boredom to some people, but it's actually you being at peace. And especially with people with not a good regulated nervous system, they have difficulty sitting in boredom because they always want some action. It's not boredom, it's peace. We are at peace, we are still, we are so grounded, we are so, like regulated. Learn to use it for your own benefit, because in that stillness, in that peace, you can grow, you can do things which are aligned with you. You can think about how to expand yourself, maybe in ways which you haven't even imagined before. You can observe what kind of negative thoughts are coming to your head and you reframe them. Also, something about the growth is that growth is not pleasant. Growth is painful. Growth is uncomfortable. Like, growth feels like you're climbing a big mountain and you can't seem to reach the top of that mountain no matter how much you climb. Like, it's that type of feeling. But it doesn't mean that you have to go back to something familiar where it was so easy, but part of you still felt not satisfied. I remember, like, my family used to tell me, like, to be thankful to God and to appreciate what I have, but I had this insatiable thirst inside of me always to strive for more. Just an unexplainable, insatiable thirst inside of myself to strive for more, to be more, to achieve more. And in order to be at peace with myself, I'm like, calm down. We're about to reach that destination, but not in ways how we have been taught in society. Not through fighting for something, not through suffering for something, not through being someone that we're not in order to get to that. But we are about to do it in completely different ways. Yeah, we're not going to manipulate anyone to achieve that goal. Yeah, we're not going to lie and cheat and betray. Also, what people probably don't mention about the growth, like how do you define if universe is testing you at the moment, is that there would be a lot of people and sort of energies which will be willing to stop you. And I feel like when you connect with other people, especially with those ones who like small talk and who are very predictable, they don't have any thrill of searching out for new. They don't. But you do. So when you connect with those type of people, they will not bring anything new to your life. They will keep you where you are, or even keep you even lower. Nothing personal. Like, I'm not saying those are bad people. I'm just saying that whatever we are thrilled by in this life, those are different things. I was just, born with this thirst, appetite, eyes, like, which are like that when I see something fresh and new, and not in terms of like visuals or price of certain thing, but in terms of how it stimulates my mind. Everything which I'm turned on by starts in my mind. I am a very mental person. So when I see something which stimulates my mind, I'm like, that's why I can't explain it, to other people. I can't say, okay, you should do this and be this and say this, and that's how I will like you. It's not, it's a mental thing, it's a mind thing. It's minds either connect or they don't connect. It's you either get me or you don't get me. It's you either feel me or you don't feel me. That's how I also came to this full understanding that really no connection can be forced, and if there is no connection, it means there is no connection. You can't force it with things like buying gifts or even marrying someone or having kids with someone, or like all these physical reality things couldn't define a spiritual true connection, which was existent there long before you even met someone. You have this feeling of familiarity, you have this feeling of mutual deep understanding. It cannot be broke. It was there and it will be there. Maybe forever, maybe for eternity. Whatever is for you is just for you. It will be there. It will not run anywhere, go anywhere. It will just be there. You can't mess it up. You can't. It's just for you. It's meant for you. But if it's meant for you, it doesn't mean that you get it easily. I guess that's where people get it twisted. If it's meant for you and you feel like it's for you, you will strive for it. No matter what, no matter how much time you fall down, you will strive for it and strive for it and strive for it until you will get it, because you know deep inside that you will get it. That not even that you will get it, you know deep inside that it belongs to you, that it's yours. And all the other physical obstacles around it are just an illusion. Made for your soul growth, made for your evolution, soul expansion. But you will do whatever it takes, basically. That's what I believe in.